Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Margarita and today I'm here to talk to you about the books that I have most recently read. And I'm going to apologize in advance if you hear some whining in the background. That's just my puppy. He's upset I'm not paying my full attention to him, so just ignore that. So the first two books I'm going to talk about, I was debating whether or not I was going to talk about, and that's because I DNF'd them, but I talked about them in my last currently reading video, so I figured I'd let you guys know what's going on with that. So the first book that I DNF'd is The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. I was so disappointed to DNF this one. It just did not catch my interest. I just don't think that this book is particularly for me. I got almost 100 pages in and I was just still kind of like, whatever, I'd rather read this other book. So I never really picked it back up, and that's why I decided to just DNF it. There are so many other books that I'd rather read. The next book that I DNF'd is Ever the Hunted by Erin Summerall, and this book I read about 20 pages, 30 pages, and I just did not care. So I decided to DNF this one as well. Oh, I'm sorry. He's trying to eat the books, which is not good. Hold on. Could you please behave yourself, maybe? Just a little bit? Okay, so the next book that I read is Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. This is a World War II historical fiction novel, and this talks about what happened to the Lithuanians when Soviet Russia invaded, and it follows mostly this 15-year-old girl and what her and her family goes through and the people that she is, I guess, arrested with. And I really enjoyed this. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I thought this was very interesting, and it's a part of World War II that I had never really heard about, so I really enjoyed this. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson. I believe that I heard Sam on Thoughts on Tomes talk about this book, and I saw it at the library and I figured, hey, I'll give it a shot. I like most of the books that she likes, and holy crap, I loved this. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, and it's just so good. This is a Peter Pan retelling, but it follows Tiger Lily, and our narrator is actually Tinkerbell, and she sees the story as a whole, where as opposed to if you were just following Tiger Lily, you'd only see her side. You see the whole story unfold, but Tiger Lily is the main character, and it is so good. And I read this at work and I was crying at the end, and I was like, you gotta keep it together because patients are coming in and they're gonna think you're crazy because you're crying. So good. I definitely recommend this book if you're interested in retellings, if you like Peter Pan, if you liked Tiger Lily. I mean, this is just so good. I have so many thoughts on this, and I'm thinking about doing a review of the book to go more in depth because it's just so good, but I don't want to spend forever on this video. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Wrath in the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. This is 1001 Nights retelling? I don't know which one. I don't know what the actual fairy tale is called, but basically it follows this, our main character who sacrifices herself to this king because every morning he picks a new bride, and every day he picks a new bride, and every morning the next day he kills her, and he kills this girl's best friend. So she decides she is going to volunteer herself to be his next bride with the intention of killing him. But then, of course, nothing goes as planned, because if that were the story, it would not be this long. And they, of course, are going to have some sort of fall in love moment. And I thought this was pretty good. I gave it, I believe, 3 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it. I felt it was a little long at parts. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to pick up the next book. I might, but it's not on my radar to pick up anytime soon. I might pick it up later though. So I enjoyed that. The next book that I'm going to talk about is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is not a Trojan War retelling, but it kind of, because it doesn't all take place in the Trojan War. But basically, this follows the story of Patroclus and his love for Achilles. And I'm sorry about the glare. I'm trying to hold it so that you can see it. And I really, really, really enjoyed this book. I believe I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, and if I didn't, I'm going to have to go back and change that, because I really enjoyed it. And I believe that it stays pretty true to the Greek myth and all that, which is nice. And it's just, it was so nice because you could see their romance blossoming, and it was just, I really, really enjoyed this, and I'm gonna probably have to buy it for myself because it's really good and I'm gonna want to reread it. The next book that I'm going to talk about is The Forest of a Thousand Lanterns by Julie Dow. This is an evil queen retelling, but with Asian elements. I believe Chinese elements, but I don't want to say that just in case I'm wrong. But definitely Asian elements, and it was so interesting. I really, really enjoyed this, and I enjoyed the perspective. And it was so interesting because obviously, you know, she's going to become the evil queen, so you know where the story's kind of going. And it's so interesting to see her start from this young, semi-innocent girl who is being pushed to a destiny that she wasn't sure she wanted, and now that's all she can think about, and all the devious things she has to do in order to become the Empress. So this was really, really cool, and I believe there's another book coming out in this series, and I will be reading it. I really enjoyed it. I gave this, I believe, 4 out of 5 stars. And last but not least, I read The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This is a Russian fairy tale-esque story, and it follows our main character, Vasa, who is the wild child in this family. She has this energy, and she's not a proper young lady, which she should be because her father is, I'm assuming, what is the equivalent of nobility in the Russian, in Russian times. I don't know enough about Russian culture to know, but I'm assuming that's what he is. And she's just this wild child, and she can see the little spirits that work in the house and in the barn and all that stuff, and she can talk to them. So then her father has to remarry because her mother dies, and the woman that he remarries tells them that you're no longer allowed to leave little gifts and things for these spirits, because she's a devout Catholic. You have to only talk about God. And it tells that story and the consequences of that, and there are other things in here also. And I really, really enjoyed this, and I cannot wait to read the second one. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, and I definitely recommend it. So that's it. Those are all the books that I have recently read. Let me know the books that you have recently read, and if you've read any of these, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.